Talk about chemistry, 'cause I'm dying to melt through to the heart of the molecules, till the particles part like holy water. If anything, she's an undiscovered element, either born in...
They had to speak, and then they didn't speak.
Maybe they just clicked a thing and didn't mean to.
How do you really feel?
Luke.
Like, how come we haven't started?
I don't know, but what's going on,
I'm
everybody?
getting bored.
I am... Shush you! Sit down. Take your medication, Sir Grumps-a-lot. But I'm the one, the only, the W-O-O-K-I-E. The one in charge of this show.
And you too can join us at KFC for this exciting discussion.
Can I do the intro first?
Where you will go ahead and put people down. Love it.
Yep. Don't read the rules section. But I'm the one, the only, the W-O-O-K-I-E. Joined here by the normal cast of Misfits. We got, who do we got first? The Ewokiest of Ewoks, Ewok Jr.
Hello, KeyForge community. Glad to be here and allowed to speak. Oh, was partially spoken. Got it.
Yep. We have the grumpiest man alive, Dr. Sheep.
Meh.
Wow.
And
That's quite the honor.
the one you know who will make it to the end but never fulfill your fantasies, Drazcor.
Oh.
Hi, Drazcor.
That's right, ladies? I don't know.
He'll get you there,
Maybe?
but it's meh.
Do you prefer to be choke show?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I guess it depends on
I
what
don't know,
they're
take this.
into, no?
No.
Those.
No.
Good.
Bad Wookiee.
Wow,
We can talk about that.
I'm just saying, some people like that kind of thing. But anyways, not much to go over this week. It's going to be probably not a short show because we don't know what those are. But we have things to go over. We got OP news with Sheep. Sheep, tell us about Worlds. What's new in the world of KeyForge Worlds?
They are starting to announce the events that are sponsored by the different groups. So we
They
know
are?
there's Kagi. Yep, we know there's Kagi live there. And we know there's the KeyForge Creator panel.
Where did
I
they
guess that's
announce
all I
this,
know.
Sheep?
They're letting the people who did it are announcing it. I haven't seen
Weird
anything
how it's
from
not all in one spot for us to find.
yet. Did you get approval
For what? Shredder?
for the thing you sent in?
I believe Shredder has been approved. I have no idea. I have not
You think it may have been approved?
I
We
have
might be
not-
destroying things.
I have not received a no.
That's pretty. I mean,
Does that mean
That
yes?
was good.
we'll take it.
Oh, he sent me questions.
Oh.
Oh,
What about our bachelor party and bachelorette party?
I didn't think that
yeah.
was on the approved list.
Oh, okay. So that's outside of our normal hours. Got it. Sorry.
Yeah, so we have a bachelor party somewhat planned. In true AC fashion, we've made plans but written nothing down.
Expect
lot of
nothing.
talk, minimal delivery.
Well, I mean, it
Really
really
good at it.
depends, right? It could be a lot of talk and,
How we could all end
Emperor
up in jail.
Riku goes home with a weird tribal face tattoo. It's all these things are
Yeah.
possible and can happen
Now
when
we're
you hang
talking.
out with the
Very-
AC crew. We also could just all wind up in a hot tub really awkwardly together. That's also
I think it depends
Well,
how.
I thought you said there were going to be girls here.
yeah.
I think it all depends how trashed and awful we feel after Sydney Scrub's revenge party.
Oh, yeah.
If it's like Vegas day 2, everybody's gonna be like, I'm just going to bed.
Hair of the
man, I
dog,
hurt so
hair of the
bad.
dog, right? Hair of the dog. Just like
Oh.
back in the saddle. Y'all need to learn to hold your liquor, though.
No,
What do you mean, no?
go harder. It just means
Right.
you didn't go hard enough.
Right, exactly. So I don't understand like how we all feel. I feel like we just need to get back on the saddle and just keep going.
You didn't go hard enough the night before, if you can even think about
But
that.
you too could be a part of Emperor Riku's bachelor party.
Does Emperor Riku know about this?
I believe so.
Okay.
is in KFC Roseville Mild if you're in our Discord. And yes, for those of you joining, our Discord did change a little bit. It's for the better. I know old people won't like it. Sheep hates it because he doesn't like anything. And
I mean,
and
would
JM
have been
also
nice
hates
to
it.
know about it at least at all before things change.
It changed not really a ton, but it's a-okay.
Take
You'll
away
be
my
fine.
favorite channels.
Everyone will live here. You'll survive. I've given everyone more autonomy over the items that they want to see as opposed to just needing to see everything. So, you're welcome.
So you're saying we added an OnlyFans section? Now I gotta click.
That's the hidden section.
Oh,
You may or may not want to click. It depends on if the Wookiee fills that vice for you or not.
So on different news, it looks like KFC will have over 100 people there already. So great job. We're moving along, my friend.
I don't understand how you guys all find these numbers. Like, where is this number?
Well,
Ewok just bought a ticket.
I did.
I bought my ticket as well. I didn't get like a number.
You didn't pay very good attention.
Yeah,
or you didn't actually buy a ticket.
No, because I got my confirmation email right here. Right?
It says ticket details. It says a little red ticket. It says number, and then mine just said 114. And I apologize, but last 3 weeks have been super busy being out of town. And then actually we were out of town, out of state last weekend for a soccer tournament. I had conferences tonight, so I'm just happy to be able to have this. And, as I'm going to be talking on a cast with an event, I should probably, show up for this event.
Never mind.
I'm really excited for the event.
They have sent another one to me. Yes, I was 113.
Yep.
113.
So I'm just looking through the KFC Roseville Mild channel, looking at other things that are going to be there. Looks like there's going to be some Keymander events run by Fabulosing and June.
I just saw that. Yes, that's exciting.
That
Yeah,
was loud,
there's going to be, what else we got here? Philly No One is going to do some homebrew KeyForge adventure. Mars Z Base. I don't know if he's paying royalties to Big Z or he's just like Big Z's not going to defend his copyright of that letter at this point.
He won't at this point. He don't.
Yeah. I think let's go for it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're going to put Nightmare Mode in just as the fall of House Gorgmeist had Nightmare Mode just announced? Or is it just going to be straight?
They probably will put it out there, right? Like, yeah, I assume.
Okay.
So, yeah, they posted that's now on Forge Fire, right? Which, I mean, I personally don't. That's not a thing I'm interested in itself, but I am interested to see what they will do in the future with print on demand Forge Fire for KeyForge. I think there's possibilities there. So purely from that sense, I'm interested.
I think what's exciting is that regardless of what you're interested in, there's a whole smattering of events that are happening. And so to make sure that you participate, you're going to have something that you can do. In fact, right now, you're really going to have to be a little bit more focused because there's just a ton of events, which is great to see.
You can also now buy Vault Assault from Forge Fire. So there are now actual things happening at Forge Fire.
You could get those at Gen Con.
Yep, and they are $5. $5. $10 for the what is it? Hard mode, Fall of House Gormengeist, whatever we're calling this.
Yeah.
Nightmare mode.
I've yet to have a reason to play Vault Assault. Oh.
Well, we're going to KFC. Okay. What better reason other than to drink heavily and play with 3 of your best friends?
There you go.
I still hate that it's 3 to 5 players. Why could you not just make it 4? Every other game is doing 4 players. You can't have 6 because it's only for 3 to 5. Sheep 3 to 5.
Well, but 6 players, you just play KeyForge. Honestly, 4 players, you play KeyForge.
And so that's why.
Like, it's really at 3. Where
3, you just play KeyForge with 1 buy.
Yeah, and maybe 5.
And 5, you just play KeyForge with 1 buy too.
Yeah, I mean, so we do, like, at my store, right, when it's not like official event's the right thing, but like if it's not like the pre-release we just did or like a big event of some sort, we generally just like, all right, you got here last, so everybody else is playing, and then you're gonna
You get the buy.
challenge the first person who wins.
You got it.
Right? And then that person has to wait 5 minutes for the next hit. And like after that first person has to wait, like it's pretty smooth.
Yep. All right. But now that we've covered House Gormengeist, Nightmare Mode, and all that jazz, let's see. I gotta go. Hold on. I gotta go back to the list to make sure I didn't miss anything. All right. Pre-release.
Pre-release. Well, that was it. Yeah, we did pre-releases. So we ran the pre-release at our store. I was pretty excited. We had some new players show up, which was awesome. We had 14 players, and including Don came up from Baltimore, from the Bay Witches, so it was cool to see him. And we had a good time. Lots of fun stuff was opened. Cool house pips were placed around. The winning deck had a crazy dispod with recurring ability to recur tryhards and stuff. It was pretty brutal. And it was pretty cool to see. So it was a good time held by all.
All right. Well, I believe you have to order pre-release from Asmodee.
Yeah, so they apparently sent that out as a notice to stores, but my store never acknowledged it. Like we never knowledgeably saw that bit of email.
Yeah, we actually didn't buy pre-release packs because we had the GameFound stuff at the store. And so we just had, and everybody already has a Skyboard pin, right? Because that's all that's in the pre-release pack. There was nothing to chase after.
No motivation.
Yeah, so we just played 3 days. What we did is we said everybody can buy one of the store branded decks and then 2 regular Aember Skies decks. So everybody who played got to walk away with a Games Keep.
I like that move, Draz, because I think the store branded deck is a nice, unique item to be able to walk away with. So I do enjoy that. That's a nice choice.
Yeah, and then we had, for prizing, we had a couple of those and a couple of MMM or whatever, more mutation for prizing. So
that has not got a very warm reception anywhere, has it?
Nope.
Well, see, the problem is that they made it pretty exclusive, but then
it is fairly rare.
But then, like, I've opened 2 so far, and I've not opened. There's no gigantic.
Well, we were in. I think that we're now in 7 or 8 out of the first box, and there hasn't been a gigantic there. And multiple other people have opened a full box with no gigantic, and I think that's where. You're looking at the gigantics as being that chase item. We've increased the amount of them 2 per house. And so I would have expected to see more of them, and to not see them at all is very disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I already have I think I bought 500 MM from the fire sale, plus all the MM I already had, right? So, like, I have a lot of MM. Don't need more random MM.
Sure, Panic. I'll make the bet. If AS makes top 8, I will release I will personally release an Archons Corner OnlyFans.
Oh,
but
if they make a top 8,
if it makes a top 8, not
at Worlds
sealed, has to make a Archon top 8.
Archon, okay.
Yep. AS, I will give it that eventually probably will see some alliance shenanigans because DT did it. So, yeah, I mean, logically, eventually Aember Skies will do it.
Yeah, somebody's going to have, like, because we know there's lockout decks, right? And so in Alliance, you can more easily
Panic wants to speak.
generate the lockout.
There you go. You've been invited. Right click on yourself and hit enter stage.
Hello.
All right, Panic.
Whoa,
What
hello.
can we do for you?
Hello.
You guys were talking about more mass mutation, and I had this
can't hear
thought.
him. Can you guys?
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we hear you. Just Wookiee can't, but
Okay.
we want it that way, so continue.
Yeah. You're good.
So on the topic of not
What
as
is
many
going on?
gigantics being found as people would expect, I wonder if they adjusted the
All
algorithm
right, technical
because
difficulties.
it's supposed to
Hold
be
on.
like a re-release of mass mutation. So you know what I'm saying?
Leave and then
My mass mutation deck be identical to an existing mass mutation
All right.
deck.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, Wookiee, we can hear you. Everybody can hear Panic. So Josh in our forum had at some point, I think I remember this correctly, had said something to the effect of like, "Oh, well, there's so many more, so your chances of getting them are a lot higher," which is true, I'm sure. But based on the
I
way
am
he
having
said
some
it, I
issues, and
assumed
clearly we are
all
recording
there
something.
was they just added more rare.
Grafton are new in that set.
Oh, now I have to.
Anyways, I mean, you can certainly get a deck in mass mutation that or more mass that you would not be able to identify that it is a more mutation deck from the card list alone. Now, if it actually would allow it to print an identical deck with, like, and what's the chances that the enhancements would land the same? It's pretty low, but like,
Right. Sorry, I
you
missed
know,
all of that.
I don't know
because
if that's
as soon as
in their
Panic came
algorithm
in,
to present
I
that, but
lost
I
everything.
think so.
Well, they know the existing deck lists, right? It's not like, even though they
Yeah,
lost the
but that
ability to
doesn't
generate.
mean they're doing that comparison out of set, right? Like when you make a deck in Aember
Yeah.
Skies, you don't need to compare it to any previous set because you know it's impossible for that deck to duplicate anywhere else.
So I'm gonna just make a bold assumption that they're following certain standard software practices, which I know this is maybe not a good assumption.
I won't agree with this.
So
but
the big question is, can y'all hear me now? Could you hear me before?
Yeah, we can hear you the whole
We
time.
can hear you the whole time. You
Yeah.
keep cutting
Yeah.
everyone off. Stop it.
No,
Wookiee.
because I couldn't. As soon as Panic joined, for whatever reason, like my whole thing went dead, and I couldn't hear anybody.
Well, hopefully you got it. What we have been saying, because
We'll
it's been
find
great.
out. I apologize
Panic, you've been
for the
great.
cutting off.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks. No, I was curious. So, assuming like you could land all the same enhancements, could it be possible that a more mutation deck is the same? I mean, this is the first time they've done repeat sets.
Yeah.
Like, when are we going to get Darker
Algorithmically,
Tiding?
yes, it could happen.
But
The chances with identical is near zero. And do they actually have a thing to present duplicate deck list? I mean, they have it for within set.
so
But
in theory,
cross-set?
they should be able to do something like take a hash of what cards are in set or in the deck, right? And they should be able to store that as like the unique hash of that deck. And in theory, they should be able to easily
You are giving them far
Check
too much credit.
that hash, right, is not already allocated to a deck, right? And you should be able to detect collisions there. Now, there's a lot of ifs in there, right? If they're actually following a practice like that, and if they didn't, they added the cards, change the card numbers around or something, do something where you wouldn't actually know that you're creating an identical deck because you've just by changing the card numbers or something, you've created a scenario where it doesn't know that it's the same.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah.
So I'd only have 2 decks here for more mass mutations. Actually, the second one has a phenomenal logo set that I'm very excited to be able to play. But what immediately jumped out at me, I had an Untamed suite that had a new common card. So Rakatiel, if you've not seen it, it's 2 power, Untamed, Beast Mutant, elusive, hazardous 1, play after reap, choose up to two creatures, shuffle each chosen creature into its owner's deck. And it's coming in the common slot. So that's what really jumped out as being something different and unique. I actually really like this with the play after reap, what it can do for disruption, for cycling your own solid cards that you want to play effect, and for your opponents to send them back, because it's, to return them. But you can go ahead and see here just by clicking on DOK, you have the search engines for build your champion for Untamed, digging up the monster, Tumus Gigantica. So those are your 3 new search cards.
We're not talking about mass mutation right now.
No, but like I think if you're looking, you got the new Gigantic of Titanic Bumblebird, and then they actually reprinted Save the Pact, which was in Coda, which is in AOA, and then here in more mass mutation. So I thought that was interesting, but that's
not
all.
A good card.
No, but if you're looking, they're very, very, very similar. So I don't know. I feel with the Gigantics and with the extra search cards, I would expect a higher amount. Like, that's what we're looking for. That's exciting. But I haven't heard anyone really stirring up. And maybe it's because we have 3 sets out at the same time. But maybe it's just because...
Well, let's be honest. Talk isn't lighting the world on fire either.
Yeah, it is. You're not paying attention.
Yeah. I agree more with Sheep on that. But I'm saying, like, more mass mutations has really taken the back seat. It's pretty exclusive for the different stores, but it's just you're not getting the high amounts. I don't know. I think it would be fun to have 2 Gigantics consistently coming out. I don't know. At least 1, I think, would be more appropriate, but it's missing a lot.
Play it right now, so
that's going to change when more mass hits the Crucible.
Yep, then you'll see the new big creatures because people just want to play the new big creatures.
I know, but again, if you listen to people who've opened up items, it's not like there's
a ton of casual, non-mega competitive people who will want to play just the new gigantic creatures, whether they're good or bad. There's all those people who keep queuing up in casual every day.
I agree with you, Sheep, but what I'm saying is, 1, there aren't a ton of these decks available. And we're not seeing that there's
when you play online, they're all available.
That's true.
But we see this with certain decks that will come back, but unfortunately, I don't know. I'm just not seeing a lot of people like excited, like, hey, I pulled this new. I mean, I want to pull a Gigantic. I pulled, but I'm not seeing it.
What I'm seeing online, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not seeing much love for it.
And when you have multiple sets, you lose out on some of that energy. Because, it's just not as exciting.
It's not as exciting as the other one because the good tokens and talk are more exciting than your low chance of opening a bad.
Well, we had multiple people when it was actually offered for our locals who simply said, nope, no thank you.
I haven't bought one. I have no mass.
I actually have one.
M+.
I'm just looking. So I've only opened 1.
I have 2. They were both poopy. I have opened now 4 talk. They were all poopy.
Well, you haven't opened to go to Aember Skies because, you won't even open them. So,
I opened a couple Aember
Skies is fun to open. Like,
it's not exciting.
House Enhance.
AOA again.
No.
Yeah.
House Enhance.
This is so much like playing AOA. It's
this is
kind
AOA,
of infuriating.
Since we were talking about this, go ahead.
Mediocre logo speed, right? It's okay. It's not great logo speed. It's mediocre logo speed. The steel steals almost just like the better half of Shadows, right? Like there's Red Line and Steel, just like we used to have TMTP and Ronnie, and some recursion stuff to make that happen again and again. And that was okay. Like, it's not that it's bad, but it's just like that. And otherwise, you're just playing a bunch of creatures that have either mediocre effects or are which level, oh my god, you got to deal with, right? That's how this set plays.
But that's all right. So when I think back to AOA, I guess that's not what I think about. I think about low Ember control,
which is true in this damn set.
I
have opened several.
There's
a
lot of Ember
control
in this
we've opened all stuff no A decks and tons of sets, right? But like, I don't think it's like overall.
This set has been garbage.
I think your Amber control is okay. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as what you see for
board wipes.
I think that the
just like AOA.
Yeah, I think
that's
the
true.
C is where you're really at. What we have found, I don't know, we were talking about this, but I think where Aember Skies really has potential to run is when you have your house enhancement pips that fall on specific cards that are game warping.
And the broken stuff happens. But let's
That
do
is
logos
it.
cards.
Well, I have to share because I did actually crack my decks yesterday. I needed it before conferences. And you got to see
You need
this.
a fix?
I did need a little bit of a fix here. I actually thought it was a very interesting deck from Tuesday. And this was for them one of those mass mutations, the more and more mass mutations here, the triple eclectic inquiry, Lethalogica with a capture pip, autoencoder, mutagenic serum, universal keylock, Chronos, Infomorph, Novu Dynamo, and double QMX with an enhanced draw pip on one of them. Like that's a house, boys and girls, that's got some movement and some actions.
It's got some movement, but
it's not doing anything. It falls into the traditional it's going to move cards, but like, not.
What are your other two houses? How were they?
Nah, they weren't good.
Yeah,
I remember seeing this deck.
Yeah.
So
right.
Basically, you open a deck with one good house, which doesn't do anything for the deck. But
I actually think the dis isn't that bad, but we'll play it. We'll have some fun, and I think that's where all of these sets are at right now. But there are some definitely broken things when your house enhancement pips fall on specific cards. So
yeah, we're gonna talk about one of them right away.
Not enough
Let's
house
do it.
enhancements in set to make a difference. But let's talk about somebody please pronounce it. Arsinometer. Arsinomometer.
Archanometer?
Chronometer.
It's got
ARC is arc. Archanometer.
Right. Archanometer? Whatever. This is a fucking...
Archanometer.
The card that all the important text isn't on the actual printed card.
Yeah.
This card that just says, during your opponent's turn, each time they play and that's it.
Play a card. Each time they play a card, they lose a number.
Yeah, but that's not what the card says when you get it out of a deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just hangs, and then you just you go to time.
Yeah.
It is also
overflow error.
It is also enhanced with 2 logos pips.
Yeah, so this card, during your opponent's next turn, each time they play a card, they lose 1. You play a creature, you lose 1. You play an actual and an Amber Pip, it's a wash. That's just in logos is really difficult to play against. But as we were just getting to, as Ewok was going, I have played against a few of these where they have a second house enhancement on them, which means 2 out of 3 turns
you're losing.
You're losing Amber, and if they have mediocre board control or your deck isn't creature based, it's nigh impossible to beat. Assuming their deck does anything else, and you don't have some kind of something that lets you key cheat for free, right? There are, of course, things and hard R that beat it, but without it,
it's brutal.
It just shuts things down. It is wretched. And when we were talking about the Shard of Change, I've played against a couple of Shard of Change decks that are enhanced with this, and Shard of Change is enhanced into Dis, which means they're replaying some very powerful actions.
Like a Rise?
Now, like Clipped Wings.
Mm-hmm. But Clipped Wings or Rise, there's a couple actions that just make it ridiculous.
Just recurring Ritual of Tognath and just pushing Amber super hard. There is all kinds of stuff, like 1 Dust Imp and 1 Ritual of Tognath, and if you can cycle that every turn with a change, it's thing. But we're talking about Archanometer right now, and this one is oppressive. I actually think between this card and Change, there is enough Amber push and potentially enough steal in this set that one of these cards house enhanced, or God forbid a deck with both of them house enhanced, is Archon worthy. And it's kind of like playing against Heart of the Forest stuff, where it's like, if you don't have hard R, you're just kind of watching yourself lose, and it's sad. So this after having some experience with Aember Skies, this is where I think Aember Skies lives. It's kind of like playing AOA. Did you get one of the broken combo bits? Do you have Gangernaut or Martian Generosity Key Abduction? No? Well, maybe you have an Exhume Ronnie Loop or something. There's some other stuff that worked over there, but you're basically down to a couple of things that were really, really good. And I think that's where Aember Skies is looking to me as well. And it's already, even in the number of decks we've seen opened, there are these decks that are quite painful to play against.
There's double Archanometer decks, right?
Double Archanometer decks. So there you go. Now you're going to lose 2 each time you play a card.
Yep.
If you have your dream Aember Skies Logos pod, what do the other 2 houses need to be?
Dis and
It's probably
Authorized Vitality and
Skyborn
Poltergeist.
It's got to be Skyborn for the steal.
well, maybe because if you're locking them, I don't know if you need the steal, right? So you probably
it's either
want
that or
board
it's Equidon
control
because it gives you board control, steal,
Yeah.
and
gives
that
you the
stupid
tool.
shard potentially. Because the level of shard is actually just fine. You'd be happy to have the level of shard.
Yeah.
Well, if you're playing Logos a bunch, you're happy.
Yeah,
to have
that's
it.
true. That's true.
There is a little bit for cycling on Geistoid too. I definitely think Dis is my top pick, but I think that third house offers some options between Equidon.
I mean, it's definitely not Brobnar because Brobnar's
no.
get 3 Caiaphas Riots or throw it away. Right?
Don't sleep on Narclit.
which is possible here in this set.
Is pretty good. That's one of those which level creatures I'm talking about. It hits the board, you have to answer it, or they can really push pretty hard often. And Narplit's one of those other ones that is crazy, like what I did the other night playing. What's the one from GR, the Star Alliance?
It's Lancelot.
What's that creature in there? In Star Alliance, where you can scrap it and ready and use, or when you play it, neighbors get to be used.
Sergeant Reyes.
Yeah, Reyes.
Yeah, Reyes. And then, I laid that down on one end of my board, fought with 7 creatures to go to Haunted, to then be able to go back into Lupin with, Haunted base cards. Narplit's the same thing. Once it lands, you can fight your whole board down, or because if you kill the creature next to it, the next creature gains the versatile and keeps going. It does what Archimedes was supposed to, right? It can fold a whole board if you need it to.
Yeah, I still think that is where it should grant it at the first time. I don't like the idea for it to continue to reap over, but it is a fun effect.
Yeah, but having stupid little tokens where at the start of the turn, it's this creature's neighbor's gain is a level of tracking that doesn't benefit. It's more fun to have the big
All right,
plays.
so we making this a 5 or a 6 off the bat?
Oh, 6.
5
6.
This is a 6
off the
with
bat.
the double Logos enhancements. Yes, this is a 6.
Yeah, this was one of the
animated force in the Aember Skies.
No.
I know Spontaneous Awakening is.
No, Animating Force I'm pretty sure is not. But
it is. It is in set.
Okay, then definitely a Logos Equidon Geistoid shard deck would be incredible with the Acronometers.
Mm-hmm.
You could third host it by playing that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You just mill out your deck until you get everything you needed for Logos and then win the game.
Okay, so let's see. Agronometer,
EMP blast, key cheat, and win the game on top of you.
There are only 4 decks with.
You can pull Corner the Market and keep cycling that over and over again.
Yeah, that's the other thing that does exist in this set is Corner the Market loops. Ugh, that is just called we didn't play test this enough.
That's degenerate.
Yeah. It is just on turn 2, you can have it and just be like, I've just won the game, and you can do nothing. And you're like,
Geistoid enhanced Corner the Market with in here somewhere.
Do that.
Yeah, it exists.
It does exist. We've seen it.
Okay.
Anyway, I put it in as 6. Let's keep it moving. We only have another 90 minutes to go.
Captain Nemo. He's a 4-power cyborg scientist. After fight, destroy an artifact and a creature.
Okay, like this is one of the things people are talking about. There is a lot more R in the set. This is crappy R, like what's his name from Untamed back in the day? Rustnar. This is Rustnar, but you also get to destroy a creature. This is another one where it's double non-optionals. So like you have to destroy your own sometimes. I'm happy this is a rare because having multiple copies of this would be probably bad.
I mean, what is having one copy of this?
A solid 3, 2.
I'll put it at a 2.
I don't know. He's whatever Rustnar was. His improvement of also destroying a creature is not good enough.
Well, but it's as you said earlier, it has to happen. So
he doesn't.
Rustnar was a 2.
Yeah, okay, he could be a 2.
Yeah, but I don't mind it at a rare. I don't mind this as much. It was Rustnar at common was real annoying.
Yes.
Well, this is still real annoying, but now you can just have multiple
still
rares.
A 2.
Yeah, there's not many ways to use it on play out of Logos, right? Like
none.
So yeah, I mean you'd have to have with your double Archronometer, you could enhance your some other card to let you with Logos to let you do it. But yeah.
2 it is. Emperor Charge. Pip of Ember. Every time you play it, forge a key at +6 Ember or current costs. Forge a key at +6. Reduce the total combined numbers of cards in both players' archives. Discard each player's archives.
So this is like that anti-GR thing.
Yep.
If you can hold and archive this against a Wins deck, you're doing really... No, against a Wins deck.
I know, is Wins in set?
No,
but against GR.
Against the current active meta, this card
you can get it as legacy in Tokens of Change.
And I was going to say, Wins would be an enabler for this card.
Oh, gosh, yes. This plus
It's also the unique that comes with Titan Sentry.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So you can, between the two of those, Titan Sentry can lock people's archives up until you get to Empyrean Charge.
Well,
so here it is.
Creature.
5-power Titan Sentry Scientist Cyborg. Players cannot take their archives into their hands during their Choose a House step. Play after Reap. Choose a player. Put a random card from that player's hand into their archives. So yes, it is a creature, but 5 power is solid. And it, like, they get no chance to take their archive on the turn after you play this card, right? So you're guaranteed 1 turn of disruption.
I've also seen Imperium Charge is quite effective with the Z card when we get to it.
Yeah. What I will say about
transfer.
Yeah. What I will say about
archives 4 cards.
Titan Sentry is realize players cannot take their archives. So that means you will not be able to take your archives too. So if Titan Sentry is out and you have archives, sorry, it's not going away. That is a trigger that had been missed at our locals and something to watch out for.
And the other thing when you're thinking about a lot of this set is the archiving is fairly random.
Yeah.
In this set, there's not a lot of you're choosing what gets archived. There's a few.
But this
think
could like
these 2 cards in combination are either a 5 or a 6. They're both strong cards. They're both very live in the current meta.
Mm-hmm.
I put it at a 5. I don't know if it's a 6.
90% of the time, I find myself just playing Empyrean Charge just to knock out their archives. Even if I don't have nearly enough for the key cheats, I can still Titan Sentry, knock out a card from their hand, and then have them discard it.
Yes. That's what I see.
Still Dasania and that, just minus the Amber.
Still very good.
Yeah.
I think it's a 6. This is so good.
No.
I think you think it's a 6 because you've been getting your ass whooped by Winds of Death lately. Anything not playing Winds of Death, I mean, yeah, it's fine, but it's not as good.
This card, though, and the other one, like, it's a serious problem for fraud. I can't use my archives. right? Like, I
but
got to be
Titan-
super careful about anything I put in there. Now I got to go to a subpar strategy. Like, a lot of good decks are using archives.
I agree that a lot of
Yep.
good decks. I think that you have the key cheat. The key cheat's not what we care about. It's that second line, discard each player's
But-
archives. I don't
But
see
because
it as a 6.
Connective transfer or whatever is in the set, like, and that's a common. This is not that expensive of a key cheat often.
No, it basically
one
puts it
is
at a
hitting.
+2. It's gonna hit.
Plus anything else that was archived,
Right.
because there are other things that archive. I think this stuff is a 6. I think you're going to see decks playing this, and they're able to trigger it on themselves. This is another one that doesn't purge as well, so you can effectively loop this junk.
I do see that it does not loop. I still had it at a 4. I don't see it as being that 6. I could be
It's
talked up to it.
It's
Right.
got 2 really strong powers, and the linked card can disrupt your
Like,
opponent and get you that
I-
win, right?
I
Like, prevent your
want
opponent from
this-
winning.
Yes,
Yeah.
I want this in my deck. Like, this is
Yes.
a card where, like, if I was to be sat down and said, build your deck, I think these cards would be in it.
Yep. That's good.
Actually, I think
Real
you'd
good.
be building your deck around this card. In truth.
Well, actually, probably the first card we talked about. But yes, this one too.
Well, no.
Yeah,
I
but,
mean, like, Archanometer is just giving you the time to loop this damn thing 3 times.
Yeah, okay.
That's not winning. Archanometer is not winning you the game. It's just giving you time to win the game. You still have to
Yeah.
have a way to win. Like, that's the thing with Archanometer. Like, a bad AS deck with Archanometer, I'm still going to beat it with Fraud just by building out and looping in
You're gonna key cheat. You're
Mars
gonna
at some point, right?
Right.
Like, I can get that done. Like, good decks can still do that stuff. Archanometer alone is not a game win. Imperium Charge looping can be.
4 Logos pips could be.
How are you looping the charge though?
Well, you got to have something that makes that
Something.
happen,
Yeah.
Right.
right? Like, we're back to talking about Shard of
In here
Change,
somewhere. Who's
Shard
inside?
of, Shard of Remembrance.
No, I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's
Here
not
somewhere.
possible. I am asking that, like,
Yeah,
the reason I
have to
didn't
have
put it at a
something-
6, I know you
Oh.
can loop it, but the reason I didn't put it at 6 is because all the looping is kind of slow and off house. So
But what we're
therefore you-
looking at is individual cards. Like the whole idea for a Z
Well,
score
you-
is on
you
this card
know,
here.
'Cause you,
And what
you are
is
looking
there?
at individual cards, but you also have,
have to
think
also
about
look at
them
what else is in the set.
within the set and how the meta's played out. And I think
Correct.
that's
I think the meta is strong for your archive. I think the ability to be
this-
able to go out and
seeing
reuse
this
it
card
is
on
there.
a deck list does make me not want to wins. Right?
I mean,
Like it makes me think about it because then I go, oh shit. If that's in hand, it's possible. See, what drives me nuts is this is a free key but doesn't purge. What the beep?
this also doesn't have a minimum, right? This doesn't have a
Right.
stupid minimum. So, like,
That's why I'm
if
saying
there
it's
are
a
12
free
cards in
key.
archives, it's free keys. Yep.
So we nerf Ecto Charge because that's too much and it purges itself. But Empyrean Charge doesn't get purged and has no minimum.
Imperial Charge is much harder to do.
Not if you are going up against a GR deck, which there's a good chance you are. And there's a really good chance that it needs that wins combo.
I just
So,
don't. I don't.
In sealed, this is probably not a 6.
No.
Right? Just as in a deck with no support.
No,
you might be
I
right.
think in
It's not
sealed,
a 6.
in sealed, it's still a 5. It's still a
But
Forge
I
Key
would
plus
still
2.
score it as a 6 because we're talking about top end stuff, and this is the thing that's going to be in top end stuff.
Well, okay.
Ecto was so much
Dra-
more dangerous because of the supporting house around it. It's so much easier to get back and find and mill your deck for.
Eh,
Yeah.
I don't think the Aember Skies logos quite has the same support.
All right. Around
No,
the
no,
table,
this
Sheep,
is-
what do you got?
This is
6.
Luke not doing his job. That's what this card is. This is Luke not doing
Wookie,
his job.
what you got?
I put it at a 5.
Drazcor, what you got?
6.
Panic, what you got?
4.
And I moved it up to a 5, so I'm gonna list her as a 5, and we're moving on. Let's do it, boys.
Nautilus, 6 power, 1 armor ship.
Right.
We're not doing the
I'm
Minerva
sorry,
wing?
I skipped Minerva's wings. My bad.
Okay.
Lot of cold medication. Minerva's Wings is an upgrade. Pip of Ember every time you play it. This creature cannot fight or reap and gains action. Draw 2 cards.
Is this something you play on somebody
So-
else's creature?
No.
I think you do, right?
What? What?
Yeah, you like
I mean,
find that
like,
card.
If they have a super good reaping creature, I could see putting this on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's edge
it's
case.
more meant to hurt for sure.
Or you
Action,
put it
draw
on
2
your-
cards is not a bad action.
It's an okay action. Like it's I can
it's
see
pay
putting it
one
on
Ember.
my own creature. Yeah, to draw
Right.
2 cards. Which, if
Yeah.
you were given the choice to pay 1 Amber to draw 2 cards, you would often take that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, most combo decks would be like, yes, please. Like, that's basically, it's just a
It's
little
Martian
tip of
generosity,
Martian
yeah.
generosity, right? Yes.
Yeah.
And is there
Um,
not a...
But Martian Generosity is good because you can do a ton.
But you
right?
also can't fight. Like, I'm still not a big fan of this card. This is like a 2.
I
I
thought there
don't
was a
want this.
ready and use card in Logos. I am wrong.
Too bad you can't play this one with Deanimator. Give a creature an action, so when you turn into an artifact, you can just draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah, because it's no.
It doesn't
longer-
even give you an amber. It's not very good.
Oh, because the upgrades fall off when you turn them into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they got rid of that rule. Upgrades
did
no
they?
longer fall off.
What?
But it's no. Yeah, they got rid of that.
They got rid of that a
because
while ago because of...
spontaneous awakening or
there it
whatever.
is.
Okay.
Wow. Okay,
So
that changes
upgrades
a lot.
don't fall off, and this creature, it's no longer a creature, so it therefore doesn't have this
Doesn't
effect
gain the upgrade
because
abilities.
it's not a creature anymore.
It's now an artifact.
Still cost the benefit on this card, but like a 1.5.
Yeah, I don't want that. No halves.
Yeah, we don't do halves. We dumb
That's
don't
the
do
first rule.
halves.
Yeah.
One, it can be a 1.
Maybe just for the fact that you can disable an enemy creature's abilities, and you're still giving them draws. That's bad.
Yeah.
Probably a
Yeah.
1.
2.
Hey, Sheep, how would Fraud like extra draws?
I mean, when do I ever have a creature I'm actually going to use?
So 1 it is. I that's what I put it in. I didn't like it.
I don't.
Yeah, but 1.
I don't like
But
it on my
I mean, I could-
creatures. I don't like it on
No.
your creatures. You know where I like it? In the shredder bin.
It's a niche market.
Oh,
All right.
Mr. Perfect is now here.
Oh, so he
Is
can tell
Minerva's
us.
Wings good or bad?
Don't ask him. Nautilus.
No,
6
no,
power.
he's waiting in order to see the opposite. That is exactly what
Yes.
you need
Whatever
to do.
he says, we'll just go the opposite way.
All right, I listed it as a 1. I did have it as a 2, but I hear your arguments. Nautilus, let's do it.
6 power, 1 armor ship. Play/after fight. Ward a creature. Draw a card.
Okay.
And this is the
Is
link.
this the ship that gets
This is
the
the
one
ship
gets
that comes with upgrades.
All
but
right, so let's go
on
down.
its own, this ship says play,
Draw a
ward
card.
a creature, draw a card.
Yep,
Like,
that's pretty
this
good.
is
That's a good
already a good ass card.
And especially for our ships, it really
Yeah,
is.
compared to the Talon. So
All right, so
earlier
this
today, I played Tobin. I had the Talon from Dis, and he had a double Talon from Dis deck, and it was so awful.
Talon.
Well,
And then there's this damn card, which comes with Void Shields and Hollow Camel.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
Does it come with reallocation accessory? What does that come with?
No, I think that's different.
Because
Let
you
me
have
find out. Let me
you have
find
4
out.
linked cards in set. You have I'm gonna guess it's Hollow Camel and Void Shields.
I'm searching up Recollection accessory now.
Is that
What's
come
the,
with accessory?
Amber Burner. That one of the upgrades, or am I thinking of a different ship?
I think it's different.
This is the logo, ship, right?
Oh no, I think looking at it, Nautilus comes with all 3.
All right.
But does it?
It comes with Hollow, Reallocation, and Void.
So Hollow
Okay.
Shield, Hollow Camo, is a Pip of Ember every time you play it. While a creature is ready, it cannot be dealt damage. Reallocation accessory: this creature gains after reap. Archive a card. Choose a player for each card in chosen player's archives. Deal 1 damage to a creature. And Void Shields. This creature gains another Pip of Ember. This creature gains at the end of your turn. Ward this creature.
Yeah, from my
Why does Logos
fairly
get
quick
all the
search-
fucking good upgrades?
right?
None of these are like honestly bad. Like Hollow Camo, yeah, pretty good. Probably a 3,
Hollow
right?
Camo's really good.
Is it a 3 or a 4? I teetered between 3 and 4 because it is still an upgrade. Void Shields, again, pretty good. Probably
Void Shield is another one. Like these cards, and there are a few creatures and stuff in set. God, there was something. Where was it that between the Hollow Shield, the Hollow Cam, and the Void was just absolutely devastating. Now I can't remember what it was.
And then
Picture Worlds Collide where you're just warding at the end. Like it's just brutal on certain creatures.
Yeah,
It's better than the Z-Wave emitter, right? Which does it at the
hands
beginning
down.
of your turn, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Like the worst one is reallocation accessory because there might just be no archives.
Oh no!
I know.
Well,
But it is after Reap archive a card. So
Yeah,
no,
so
it's
I
not.
you're gonna
archive
at least
cards,
do one.
I'm at least doing 1 damage.
Wow. Like all 3 of these are probably, 3 to 4 value cards, right? Because they are upgrades, so they're never going to be too crazy. Although the capture, lose Aember card that we talked about in Geistoids, and I think we gave it like a 4. That thing's probably a 5 or a 6. That card
Yeah,
is crazy.
after this week, that card might be a little more busted
I
than
hate that
originally.
card now.
Which card was it?
This creature captures an Ember, and then for each Ember, your opponent loses Ember equal to the number of Ember on this creature.
No. You lose it. So you put
lose
it on your opponent's creature, and that creature now starts capturing Amber from you.
Oh, yeah,
but then
every
lose
turn they
Amber,
lose Ember equal to the Ember on this creature. Yeah.
And with the Drumbles and the Veils and all the stuff that are in play, or all the capture that's in the last couple of sets, like, it is just a murderously brutal card.
Yeah.
We also got Ghost in the Sun wrong because we misread the card
Yes.
when we did Geistoid. Because
we
it's-
misread.
yeah, for each
it's
Forge
put
key,
into
your
play,
opponent has
not play a
put
creature.
a creature into play
Oh.
from your discard pile instead of
So that
yeah.
goes, some down in value.
Oh,
but
no.
anyways,
So what am I
anyway.
moving? I'm on Ghost in the Sun. What are we moving it to?
is this still only a circular value of 4s all around, or is it 4s and 3s? Because although
I
you
think the Nautilus
Do
is
you
a 4.
want
I want a
this
Nautilus.
stuff,
Yeah, I kind of
yeah,
do.
but you have to have all 3 of these upgrades.
I don't much
Yeah.
none of
They're
them. I'm
not
the
horrible.
only one that really doesn't tickle my pickle is reallocation accessory.
Yeah, but the point that you have 3, 4, 5 upgrades, you end up with turns where you have to put them on your opponent's cards.
Well,
Right?
okay.
You get this bad position with upgrades where you can't use them or you're discarding them, and that's makes them like -5s.
So
I think in
here's-
the ideal logos pod, there are cards I would rather have that would get taken up by these upgrades. I agree.
Yeah.
Like the ship is nice, but I'd rather have those 3 other slots for better cards.
'Cause I think
Yeah,
there are
Hollow
better
Camo's
cards.
not that great. I only thought Hollow Camo was like a 2 on its own.
It still assumes
This
you
one's
can get
hollow
anything to
camo.
pick long
Is that
enough
the
to
one
use
that-
them.
while it's
that
ready, it
prevents
can't be
damage?
dealt. Yeah, while it's
No,
ready,
Yeah,
it
well,
cannot.
it's
Yeah, it
ready
cannot be
damage.
dealt damage.
I guess most stuff does get destroyed by non-damage based effects, although
Yeah.
there's a lot of damage based effects again in this set.
And it doesn't help you
Okay.
if you want to fight into something.
So give the creature a 4.
I don't think you're
and
fighting into it. And to be honest with you, I,
allocation a 3, hollow a 2, and void shields a 3, and let's move on.
okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Sounds
All
good
right,
to
so
me.
I had a 4 for the ship. What was Hollow?
Sheep.
Hollow's a 2.
And that's what I had, and I had 3s for the other 2. But
Yep.
what are we rolling with? Okay.
Yep, 3s.
I got to scroll back up now. All right.
And the
You're
creature
going
may end up being a 5. I don't know. Like, I've played against the Nautilus. It was good, but I don't know.
Weigh the
Commander
anchor.
prompt.
Pip of Ember every time you play it. For each creature your opponent controls in excess of you, stun an enemy creature.
Well, this is just like a crappy version of a bunch of cards that existed.
Yes, it is.
This
And
is
what
a
are we-
2.
Oh, you went that high?
It's still okay.
Is it because of the Ember?
It's a
on it?
band-aid at best.
Let's see, this doesn't win games. I don't know if I really want it.
Stunning creatures wins games.
It does.
It's slow. Well, no, sorry,
what-
not slow. It's just
What's
to
the-
beat.
Situational.
other.
Yeah.
I have to be in a
cards that's
bad
done
situation
creatures
to
and
make
just
really
compare.
good use of this card.
No,
Hey,
I
you
actually
can make it a
think it's
1.
fun.
I don't care.
I put it at 2.
I'm fine with it too.
I had it out.
You get an Ember, sometimes you stun stuff.
Yeah.
I guess I get to choose what I stun, but I just feel like I'm in a bad situation already.
Yeah.
It's
Well, no,
Panic
it-
said,
it's-
it's a
I mean,
band-aid. Like,
you're
it-
outboarded
you only-
all the time in these games these days because, like, your opponent takes their turn, their board's bigger than you. You go, you play this card first, you stun some of their stuff, and then you outboard them. Like, that's the ebb and flow of this game. Is you are often behind on board at the start of your turn. Like, that's just how the game works,
all right, I'll give it
The
a
Amber is the only
Often.
thing that makes it really worth it.
and that does not make a card worth having, as we know. Like, a card that just has an Amber Pip would be a 0.
What?
It doesn't even make it a 1.
Does 2.
Does
I
not.
think it's
too.
a 1, man.
Command prompt. We're going with 2. We can fix it later.
No, I'm saying I think an Amber Pip is worth 1, not
I think
0.
an Ember Pip
and
is
I
worth
put,
1 too.
Yeah,
But
I put it at a
Uh,
2.
I don't.
Command prompt.
command prompt: 2-power AI scientist. After Reap, you may play a non-logos card this turn. Why
So
are we
we've
taking
had
good
this-
cards and making them suck?
How'd they make this suck? Is just because he's 2-power? Like, this card already exists, right? It's in
Yes.
Star Alliance. It's already been in. Yeah, it's basically been in Star Alliance.
And what's that rated?
This is like a commander. This is like Kirby, but better.
This is Kirby.
Very dangerous if
Well,
it stays even
no.
one.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kirby's
no,
on
not-
play.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
okay.
agree
Kirby's
with
way
Raz
better
on
than
that,
this.
man.
That's why I
Yes,
say
the on-play
that's-
part of Kirby.
this-
So
this-
it's a
that
point
is
lower
why
than
it sucks.
Kirby.
Kirby's way better.
It's not
because
limited
on
to
play,
actions, though.
Yeah, which makes it better than Kirby, but it does have to live.
but it's got to
That is a
live, and it probably
True
don't.
statement. But
So
there's
Kirby,
still not
Kirby's
as
are
good as
5s and 6s.
We've had this.
I put this at a
what's-
2.
Yeah. What's the previous Logos one that was Reap? And
That's what I'm trying to go for.
Oh, was that Wormhole Technician
No.
or something?
There you go.
No.
Is it in the
No.
same set with Wormhole Technician?
Let's see.
I wish we were smarter, but we're
Wormhole
not anymore.
Technician is a 2. It's in Worlds Collide. Question is this
What is it? I thought
this is
Worm-
actually the card I'm thinking of? Hold on.
What's the?
I'll start with an H. God. All right, watch us be stupid here for a bit, everybody.
Well, clearly it's not good enough for us to remember. So
nope,
it's below
definitely not Wormhole Technician.
No, I
Reveal
thought-
top
No.
card of your deck if the lowest card played, otherwise archive it.
Yep. I didn't think it was either.
There you go. Worlds Collide. Logos. Search.
Come on, Panic, make us look
Quant.
better.
The card you're thinking of
Quant.
is called Quant.
Quant.
Yeah.
Ah.
There you
Reap.
go.
You may play one non-logos action card. Now it's an
All right.
action card this turn.
It's better than Quant.
3
For
power.
sure.
So
Quant
what's-
is 3 power. This is 2 power. Quant was
It's an
Quant is only
non-logo.
action.
Yeah, it's only action where command prompt is any.
anything, which makes command prompt significantly better.
Yes, but
Then
it is 2
Quant.
power.
So Quant was a 2 in the Z score.
I
This
put
is a-
command
this
prompt at
is a-
2 as well.
3?
Three.
Like, this is a witch,
Yeah, so it dies, so you never get to use its ability.
which means it has
Well-
to be answered. Where Quant, you can ignore.
I agree with
Okay.
Door Quant.
I'm
Even
going
Quant-
on the record
Even
as 2.
Quant, you end up killing because it can make stupid things happen.
All right. I guess I got talked up to a 3.
Sucker.
It definitely pulls focus from your opponent to target this creature.
What is which of the wilds turn out as?
3 power.
Witch of the Wilds is 4 power
Is
and
it
lets
4
you play a
It's a non.
untamed card on non-untamed turn.
untamed
Yeah, so that's gonna be different too.
No, you
Okay.
can play an untamed card
I
on a
do-
non-untamed turn.
Yeah.
I do like the flavor text.
I was just reading that something / KeyForge.
So what does that do if I enter that in a command prompt?
Well,
Does
shown
my
as
does my computer
change
just shut
ownership.
down?
So basically, they're saying, yeah, like, so change ownership. I forget what -vh means. In the command prompt in production of the KeyForge directory. So basically, they're saying we're changing the ownership of the KeyForge directory, right? So you're changing it from FFG to GG, I think is what
They're pushing.
what's going on here.
Yay.
Yeah.
De-atomizer.
So we went with a 3.
Animator.
We went with
Yes,
a 3 here.
3.
Got
I
it.
like
De-animator.
because it
Or-
Okay, well,
mineralizes.
it's
All right,
too good.
de-animator, fine.
This is
Nobody
Yes,
wants to
go.
play my game of changing the names on cards to make them better.
3 power, cyborg scientist.
scientist. He's elusive. Calm down. Each
Key?
card. What?
Okay, hear me out. I've pulled a shard deck that's got Disenhanced De-animator, Skyborn Enhanced Drumble, Arise and Cauterize Vitality, and Logos Pip Poltergeist. So you can Arise to get them
Capture
both
with
since
your
it's disenhanced.
Drumble, de-atomize the Drumble, so now it's an artifact with a whole bunch of captured embers, so unless you have R, it's never going back.
No, you just
And then
kill
you-
the animator. That makes it a creature again, and then you kill it.
But with Cauterize Vitality, you can destroy Drumble as an artifact and all the amber goes away.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Yep. That,
Love
that
it.
Does, that
So-
But
does
either
the
way,
thing.
each card with a mineralized counter on it is considered an artifact and gains action, destroy this creature. Play /
Artifact.
after
Destroy
reap.
the artifact.
I did say artifact.
Oh, you did.
I did too. If I didn't, I meant to. Anyways, play / after reap. Put a mineralized counter on a creature.
This card is currently the new jar Google of weird ass rules.
Yep,
It's so good.
but it's really good.
It is, and people are getting it wrong, right? Because you put a mineralized counter on something, which moves it to artifact. And then when De-animator goes away, those cards go
Forget about it.
back to being a creature, and the active player gets to choose their position in battle lines, if there's a bunch of them. And then, if a new De-animator comes into play on either side of the board, anything with a mineralized counter on it
Goes back to being an artifact.
To being an artifact. And then you have all the weird stuff, like we're talking about, where upgrades say this creature gains. Once they become upgrades, they're no longer creature, or once they become artifacts, they're no longer creatures, so they don't have
Access to
their-
whatever the
their
upgrades
stuff.
are.
Ward counters don't fall off of artifacts, but they don't do anything when it's an
What was
artifact.
the quarter? It's not the pentaquarter, but there was in Worlds Collide. There was one. Is it a quad quarter?
Quadricorder?
Quadricorder.
sure.
That does not say this creature gains. Just says your opponent's keys cost plus. That
Then that
doesn't.
probably
As
still
your
is
opponent's
active,
plus one
yeah.
for each house. Yes, so that would
that
work
will not
just
get
fine.
that will not get turned off due to because it does not say this creature gains.
Yeah, so this doesn't turn off a lot of effects, right? It kind of makes them permanent. And then there is the clever trick, which
Can
some
I
people have
mineralize
seen in-
my own de-animator?
Yes, especially when you have double de-animators.
So that way it never goes away and it just continuously stays on the I like the de-animator. I think it's one of the good cards in the set.
Yeah, that you also
The animator can single-handedly crush the Amber Drakes and Volax and anything else on the board. Like,
Now-
you even use it on your own things, and then if they manage to get rid of it, then, you know, you get everything from your archives coming back to fill up your board again.
destroyed effects don't trigger off the artifacts.
They actually do, but
Well, I
it
don't say why would they not?
postpones.
Well, because destroyed effects are for creatures.
No. Destroyed
That's what I
effects
thought,
are just
but
anything that's
apparently-
destroyed.
Yeah.
Just because we don't currently have
You
artifacts.
can
that
destroy an
have this-
artifact.
You can destroy an artifact.
I understand, but I would have to look up it. I don't actually know. This is where I'm saying, like, it brings into all kinds of goofy rules, because the amber that's on the artifacts doesn't do anything, right? It just goes away when the thing's destroyed.
The animator on the Amber Drake, spontaneous awakening to take control of the artifact Amber Drake. Pop it for the key cheat.
Yeah, I don't know why a destroyed effect would not go off.
I'd have to read the rules. There's just all kinds of silly things that happen, and then also don't matter. Like, you de-animate something, and then somebody uses the Mars guys to spray paint it, And then it's Mars, well, it's an artifact. But once it becomes a creature, I'm pretty sure the thing only says the artifact changes, and now it's not an artifact, so therefore it would go back to, I think. There's just all kinds of very weird interactions.
So in the rule book, when a card is destroyed by a card effect, or when a creature has damage on it equal to or greater than its power, that card is tagged for destruction. After it is tagged, then the card's destroyed ability resolves.
Okay, so yes, they have...
It's like the wild wormhole of card outcomes. Just with how many weird interactions you can get.
Yeah, there is a bunch of... And then it gets into, again, weird timing stuff when things are getting destroyed at the same time and stuff is coming in and out of the battle line.
Well, active player decides what destroyed abilities will wear.
It gets to have some... There are very weird interactions. This card,
I'm sure
on its own, though, is fairly good. Like, it neutralizes a card.
I think this is a 4-5-6.
It's better as you have more of them. Do you want a ton of them?
Yes.
I don't think you want a ton of them.
I want
5 for sure.
I'll take 3
because
I don't want more after that.
You can't reap because you have to mineralize yourself.
You also neutralize your opponent's deck because they have to call a turn just to get them destroyed out of the artifact zone, draw them up again. And who knows how long that takes before you're just reaping the whole time.
It doesn't actually take their cards away because they can action destroy. But you also can't play Deanimator to a blank board very well.
No.
If your opponent doesn't play the board much in their deck, then Deanimator is pretty pointless.
I think I'm fine with a 4 on this card. I think it's very interestingly strong and does so many interesting things. It's a 3-4 area.
4. It's not nearly as good without the proper support, but with the proper support, it has a high ceiling.
It's targeted creature control right off the bat. Yes, it can come back.
Sort of. Because you're not actually destroying the creature.
Correct.
It's sitting there, and they kill the animator, and they get him back.
I can deal with it.
For a turn, you can do things. It does stuff. I'm not saying it doesn't do things, but it's not...
On a blank board, I love using the Deanimator on Daughters and Articulated Wren. Just those passive abilities that can sit there and keep giving you draws. They're more protected in the artifact zone.
I get it, and I think there's a lot of fun things you guys are talking about, but I think overall, in sealed, in most decks, it's not something that I'm super excited about. I put it as a 3. I don't see it higher than that.
I haven't played with it enough to know if I feel like its effect is long-term enough, because I feel like he's not that hard to take care of, and then everything he's doing has gone away.
It is elusive.
Yeah, but 3 elusive is not that hard to deal with.
No, it's still not, but...
I played with it a lot, and I'd still put it at a 4.
All right, let's go round the table. Sheep.
I'm 3 or 4. I don't actually care right now.
Okay. Wookie.
4.
Draz.
I got talked up to a 4.
Panic.
4.
I had it at 3, so I'm being overruled. Let's move on.
DDoS.
DDoS.
This is what Drazkor does with you when you beat him in finals. He DDoSes you.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, you should start at least. Maybe you'd win more. Anyways, it is a pip event for every time you play this upgrade.
Wow.
This creature, pretty brutal, huh? I thought so too. I told him he was an asshole, but he didn't agree. But it's an upgrade. This creature gains. Your opponent cannot play creatures more powerful than this creature.
I mean, this is better. There's that 6-power Mars creature that exists that does this. But he's 6 power, so he rarely means anything. This you can put on your 2-power something, and it can be impactful for a turn or two.
Yeah, and the Mars one affects yourself as well. This is one-sided. Yeah. This is only harming your opponent.
We talked about DDoS, and like if you have the ability to ward and stuff, so this stays in effect, and you put this on your little 2-power dude, it can be pretty devastating. It can also do nothing.
Yeah. I mean, this can be really good, first turn play.
Yeah.
Before your opponent has time to archive the answer or whatever and really slow them down. I like this. I think this is a threat.
I still think this is a 3 or a 4.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's not
Actually,
more
I've
than a
actually
four.
seen this position where you
Super
end up
power.
with a Nautilus deck and these, and you end up with 5 or 6 freaking upgrades. Blech.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
3.
2.
What?
2.
2.
I mean, there's a lot of creatures running around.
2. Yeah, but they're all very. I mean, chances are you're going to end up playing this on a Logos creature. None of them are exactly beefy.
Well, you don't
You don't
want to
want
put
this
on
on a
beefy
beefy. You
creature.
want
No,
this
you
on
want it
a
on a-
baby.
Yeah, it's so looking
Right,
at your
but
creature.
then I'm just going to kill it, and now I do what I
Well,
want.
4, 6,
There
2,
are-
3,
There
2.
are those turns where you're not going to be able to play any of your Brobnout creatures because I DDoSed.
Sure.
Yeah, 3, 3, 1,
Like,
3. So
I think you're underestimating how devastating it is when this card is effective.
There's too much spot damage from actions or even scrap effects. I think you, one, need a weak enough creature to benefit from playing it on something. And 2,
I just
You
lost the
need to
game
protect
to triple frickin' Ven Amarax or whatever because I had no way to deal with 2 power creatures. And then I played some stuff and went, okay. And then I only drew 3 cards. And then they killed my couple of creatures on board. And I went, yeah, I've just lost this game. Like,
So
2 power
what you
creatures
do-
and stuff can last and make impact.
Yeah,
For
you put
sure.
this on your Titan Sentry, and then they can't play Bryo.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fine.
I'm still
Fine.
not
Alters,
pushing for more than
alters
for a 3
Bryo
or
up
a
to
4.
3.
I put 4.
I'm at
you're-
3.
I think you are overvaluing an upgrade.
all right, Quantum Compass.
Quantum Compass. Artifact. Pip of Ember every time you play it. Item. Omni. Archive the top card of your deck.
yay.
Dirty Archives in a set that basically makes Dirty Archives, but every turn.
Yeah,
like people like Memory Chip, and that crap only works when you call logos. And this is just better.
Yep.
So this is double whatever Memory Chip is.
Well, just because
I
people
would
like
say-
Memory
I
Chip
wouldn't
doesn't
say
make Memory
double,
Chip a
but-
good card. People like AOA. It doesn't make it a good set.
Memory Chip's a 4.
All right, so
Gives
this
an
is a-
Amber
So this
and
is
it's
5.
Omni.
But
I
wait,
mean,
doesn't
Look,
Hold
Memory
on.
Chip was a 4,
I think that's
and this
high.
card is just better in damn near every way.
Didn't Memory Chip you archive a card from your hand?
Yeah, you get to pick, right?
Yeah.
Don't
I'm
you?
almost positive you get to archive a card from
Yeah,
your hand.
you get to pick.
Not from the top of your deck.
Yeah. So memory
Oh,
chip
yeah,
is
okay.
crafting. So the problem here is the dirtiness, right? Now,
Okay,
yes,
so, okay, fine.
Omni's
You can
good.
leave it as a 4.
I don't
if you
mind
want.
dirty
I had
archives,
it
to be honest
4-5.
with you.
it's not better than memory chip.
No, it's not better, but
I still
that
think it's
Dirty
better than
Ar-
Memory Chip because you get to use it every turn.
I think the Omni puts it at a 4. I don't think it makes it higher.
That's where I
And it
had
has
it.
Dirty
Amber.
I
Archives.
had it at a 4.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
All right, I'll accept that.
Decks. Can you get multiples of these?
Probably.
Yes.
It's an uncommon.
Oh,
RM
Ah,
folder. Otherwise, I call it RM folder. I now have a folder in my computer called
Isn't this
RM.
just a blue Slimer?
Yes.
Yes. 2
It's
power
like a
AI
pig tardigrade.
It's an AI insect.
Oh,
Weird how they
Weird.
the AI in the set's really weird. Anyways, after reap, destroy an enemy creature. If you do, draw a card.
It's pretty dang good.
This is Witch. This is another Witch kind of card. Like this. This is one of those ones like against an older deck that doesn't play many creatures. You know, like you could never establish a board against it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you draw, which
Yeah.
is pretty good. But
Well,
I still
you're-
think
you're-
it's only like a 3 because it is so little
Yeah.
squishy and doesn't do anything on play.
Correct.
If it did it on play, it's
But
higher.
there is like a turn 1,
So you get to use it
command
once.
prompt Nautilus RM Fuller Logos deck, and you just play all 3 of those on turn 1, and then your opponent just kind of went, shit, did I just lose this game to 3 crappy Logos cards on turn 1? And then every turn you're like, all right, I will, kill whatever, or, try
I
to draw with
suppose it does say
Nautilus, play
enemy
whatever I
creature.
want, and draw with
It's
polar.
still going to be less likely in the uncommon slot for each of those, but this is still good.
I think it's
What
like
do
a 3 though. It's
Yeah, 3.
I like if it lasts on board, it's even stronger, but it is really, really squishy.
I put it in its power too.
No, it's better than that.
Got it.
Better than your average
3.
All right.
Root access.
It wins every one-on-one.
It what?
Sorry. I said it wins every one-on-one with creatures.
If you go first,
Yes.
yeah. Root access. Pip of Ember. Every time you play, discard the bottom card of your opponent's deck. Deal 2 damage to each enemy creature that shares a house with the discarded card. Fuck, I hate this card.
There's less bottom card crafting currently.
Yeah. I suppose.
Not that would actually make this card that much better.
I mean,
Shit, this could be destroy and it would still be kind of a meh card because, like, we already have that off the top of deck, right? But it destroys both houses. I don't know. This is like a...
I put it at 2.
I've had it. It often fires for nothing except an Amber Pip.
And that's
Might
worth
even be a
2.
1.
No, Ember Pip's worth it 2.
No.
Oh, sorry, we have 0, so maybe it is a 1.
Does that only target enemy creatures or every creature
It
that
only
shares a
targets
house?
It is
enemy
only
creatures.
enemy creatures.
Eh.
All right,
It's still random.
I'm glad we all agreed on 2. Articulated Wren, 3-power cyborg scientist, hazardous 1. At the end of your turn, you may exhaust a friendly creature. If you do, draw a card.
So
He
the
is at
interesting...
the common slot as well.
Yeah, the interesting thing on this, though, is timing. So you draw up to 6 or 7 because you have a daughter. And then you can look at your hand, and if you want to play all your board creatures, because you know that's what you're playing next turn, you're telegraphing a little bit, but you don't use his ability, or you use him. You just exhaust himself to draw the card. Right? But you get to draw up before you have to pick what you exhaust. So you already have quite a bit of information to know. And that extra card, like, this is also post chains. So you shed a change and then draw this card.
I like Articulated Wren.
I have not hated this card.
Every time I play
3/4.
against it, it is something I have to deal with just because of hand advantage.
Yeah.
And in multiples, sometimes it can get out of hand. Boom.
3.
Yes,
It's nice,
Daughter's
even if you have a huge
4.
hand, it still gives you free draws.
Daughter's 2 power. This is 3. Daughter's elusive. This has hazardous 1.
Which is meaningless.
Right. So elusive's better.
If it had like hazardous 3, great. Now you need a 6-power creature to deal with it.
Yeah.
No, the thing is this is, it's like a daughter or a mother for the most part, except it effectively never gets to reap. But really, you're going to choose your house. So this card has the same value as a daughter or a mother to me, like functionally.
Yeah, it was daughter.
There are situations where it is worse.
Daughter's a
It
4.
and that's why I think this is a 4/2. It functionally plays about the same with the way you have to switch
I'm
houses
good with
in
a
this
4.
game.
That is a 3. I'm fine with whatever.
Fine with
All right,
that.
you sold me on 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heard it.
Now we're hitting in a stream of art cards.
Yep.
So
Brilliant.
with what I do want to say is Articulated Wren is the first common card that you're going to see for a logo. So you
Yep.
should have a much higher amount. So keep
I'm
going.
okay with having a couple of these.
Rex?
Me too.
Yeah.
Brillix Ponder, 3-power cyborg recruiter. Enhanced with a Logos enhancement. Scrap, draw a card.
This is one that... Sorry, Wizard. This is the Wizard random card.
Yeah.
I have not been happy to have this card as a card. Now, is the enhancement pip doing enough to pay for it? I don't know. But I have not been particularly happy to have this card as of yet. I know,
If it was
like,
a Logos enhancement tip, it would be amazing. But with just the one draw, it's not going to be as useful unless you have either full hand size by the end of your turn, or you happen to draw into another logos card. It's very
Yeah.
hit or miss.
And
Yeah.
if you
Well,
look
it's really
at
the
Library of
logos flip, right?
Babel from Coda, the artifact that lets you you can tip it over, draw a card.
What does that got to do with this? This is scrap draw card. This
Right.
this is like this card. The only place that I like it in my deck at all is it's freaking discard pit fodder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. It's,
Yep.
It is.
Right.
I do
and
think
I get a
it
scrap effect where maybe I hit some value.
right.
I think
That's
it
where I
does
was kind of going with it
increase.
too, but
Yeah, I think it does increase with multiples, so it's more of a 2-2-3. So if I
Well,
can get
you still have the enhanced pep. I don't think you can go that low.
yeah, you can.
Yeah, I think it sticks at a. I'm with like I don't have a feel for them. Like having one Logos enhanced pip in
not
a
good
deck
enough.
is not enough to make a difference.
But I start to see that turn when I'm at about 3. That's why I was saying it. I would have loved to have seen the draw a card with a reap or a fight or something
Or a
else. but
play.
Here. Oh, sure, even play. But I'm like,
anything. I would put it at a 3 only because I think you have to value the Logos enhancement. But this is another one I just don't love it.
I put it exactly where Ewok put it, 2-2-3. Like,
Imagine all the
No.
value you'd lose out on if your Amber or whatever other enhancements landed on your Brillix Ponder.
I mean, then you play it.
Then
Right,
you
this-
play it, but then the scrap effect is pointless to
Well,
you.
But you don't always have discard anyways in the set. So
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not like I said. I would just flat rate it 3s. but-
With the amount of enhancements in the set, like I think that's the 3 is the sweet spot. If you don't have 3, it kind of just becomes a thing. Like, oh, I mean,
I don't think I've given. I don't think I've given a house enhanced pip less than a 4 so far.
I know I've tried because I've not. been in
I
love
don't
with
think
them.
I don't think the single house enhancement pip on a lot of these commons is meaningful.
I mean, it very much depends on where it falls.
Yes,
but
it's very dependent, but it's not. It's not like the enhanced of old. Like a lot of the commons used to have 3 enhancements, and it would give you
At
all
that point,
3.
you'd rather have one Archanometer and
Right.
save that Brillix Ponder slot for another card.
well,
I mean,
sure.
like I would take a Daughter or an Articulated Wren over Ponder. I think.
There are a lot. I don't think having like one enhancement in his deck is worth what you're giving it. I've said that in all the enhancement cards. You guys are like, oh, but it has one enhancement. It's like, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's just
The problem-
one.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
just one. That's it. One. Like
But that
one is
the thing
one
is
is out of
changing the
24.
game.
Yeah, but
That
one out of the
one
24.
can change the deck depending
It
on where
can
it
it
lands.
can change the deck. It
Well,
can
but
also
you can't-
be meaningless.
Well, most KeyForge decks are meaningless. Even KeyForge decks with high Z scores are meaningless garbage, right? Because the stuff still has to line up perfectly. But
I wouldn't give it
without
more
the
than 2.
enhancement, you can't have it, right? Like you can't have a Chart of Change enhanced with a Logos enhancement unless there's a freaking Logos enhancement in your deck. So you do need this Brillix Ponder, or ideally Archanometer. But
So I will put it as a straight 3 because I argued earlier that our enhanced cards are really what we're looking for in the set to make cards broken. So the Archanometer, other cards where I can have it in 2 houses. So
But
I will list this
so
because I need correct. So I need items
is
here, but
it
I
fit?
do agree. I think it is 100% dependent.
God, when they hit on actions, it's kind of sad almost.
Yep.
Yep. Speaking of action,
Depends on the action, right? Like, give me on a rise, right?
Well-
Like, they're,
Yes.
Connect
I,
them
I would
trans.
want it on this next one because
Well,
this next
you
one.
could also have
yeah.
an Oust enhanced Quantum Compass and be real disappointed, right? Like
Sure.
just because it lands on artifact doesn't make it good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Connectum Transfer. Pip of Ember every time you play it. It's an action play. Put each flying creature into its owner's archives.
Isn't this now Connectum Trader?
It's whatever,
No.
it's whatever you want it to be.
Or is this
It is
Altered
the
Transfer? Maybe this is
Z.
Altered. They need to rename it to Altered Transfer.
Altered
We miss
Transfer.
you, Z.
I like how like he's still screaming on the console.
Okay. So this is the card I was earlier indicating. It is common. You can get it with your Imperium charge, and I have had this happen to me because this is like 4, often 4. But I've also had to discard this card a freaking ton.
Because you have to put each
your own creatures into your archives, and sometimes that's bad.
Sometimes, but like you could often manipulate this to be quite good for you. Not always, but often.
I'm not. It has tempered my love for this card. You know what? I end up the deck I was playing it with. I had Skippies, which we haven't talked about. So I just kept putting Skippies down and just making a dirty ass archive, and then archiving my Skippies with this because the best I could do, and it was not good enough by any. This was again where I said it's like playing AOA. It's like, oh, I killed my Hex Beyond. Woo! I got a dirty archive, and I can replay a mediocre creature. This is not awesome. But
I put it at a
bound,
3,
which is really good. It combos well with the archive hate cards that exist in set. I think 3 is fine.
I also put it at a 3.
Yeah, I think 3's okay. I think sometimes it can be very good, but yeah, sometimes you just have to discard it.
You also get multiple copies of this damn thing, which even, like, it's one of these cards, like, if you're ahead on board, it is a discard.
Yeah. It's kind of like Lost in the Wilds. You have all these crazy destroyed effects in Aember Skies. Just a good way to handle it.
Yeah, okay. Like Lost in the Wilds is...
Or you key cheat your way to victory.
4.
Or Kymor. Is Kymor...
Kymor Eclipse? This is a Kymor
Lost in the Wilds is a 4. Kymor is a 2. Interesting.
It'd be even kind of like Lights Out.
Lights Out.
No, Lights Out.
Shuffle each flank creature into its owner's deck, which is not as good as archiving your card, but often better. Like, so I wonder why the other one is a 4 and Kymor is a 2. I mean, Kymor can't
like it. Yeah.
Kymor can't do
Lost
4
in the
cards.
Woods is targeted.
I actually think Kymor was better because you had Ronnie's in that set.
Yeah, but
Well, it was also remember Shadows was
Kymor was
shadow of its former self.
Well, it was
by then.
It was Ronnie or bust.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I mean, this is what I feel like my 3 is the right kind of answer here.
And Lost in the Woods,
you're going to say that based on what's there.
No, we weren't. No, Lost in the Wilds.
Oh.
Lost in the Woods, amazing card. Much better than this. Lost in the Wild.
Because you get the choice of there.
Yeah, I think 3's fine for this.
I'm fine. I put it as a 3 as for the group. I originally had it as a 2. I don't like that I am forced into it, but I think that it's very situational. So there's a lot of times where I'm discarding it.
You should have planned better.
Yeah. You want it with this next card.
Well, but there's often times that you aren't able to go ahead and play. So yes, we get to go ahead and see the next card of Ezra Pause there, but there's other times that I happen to see my Articulate Wren or the Ponders. Like, I don't know. I just think that it's not as strong as that. But Ezra Pause, what do we got?
I mean, I could definitely be talked down to it too.
Well, we're on to Stormstrong, right? This is Stormstrong's card?
Yep.
All right, fine.
You get to look at your opponent's hand every time you reap with it, and on play.
And draw a card.
It's also 2 power. That's a creature. That's a cyborg.
You don't pretty much know what's in your opponent's hand most of the time anyways?
I mean, yeah, I do.
Being able to see is pretty helpful.
It's okay.
It's fine. I understand that every time you reap, but this at a 2 power.
It's not also draw a card, which is pretty nice.
There's not always something you're going to be able to do about knowing what house they're going to call next turn, but if they're holding key cards,
information is always good.
I mean, if you can get this guy disenhanced so you can use it with your Scrapamander or whatever the hell he is and some of your choice cards.
So
this with Classic Unfathomable would be real strong.
So this reminds me a lot of Psychic Bug from Coda, the Logos.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically Psychic Bug, right?
Yeah, that actually had a 2 for a score, so that's
yeah,
why.
but this also draws a card.
Correct, which
So
I do think it is better. I think I have it at a 3.
Yeah,
I like
fine
this
with
a lot.
3.
I still put it
I-
at 2.
I threw it as a 4 here.
No.
Looking
Nope.
at your opponent's hand, getting that knowledge, drawing a card, then connective transferring it.
But again, you're playing Christmas Land. I think that this really loses value as you have multiples.
Yeah, it's probably just a 3.
Let me see your hand. And then let me
probably
see your
right.
hand again. And then let me see your hand.
I mean, I'll still take the
Yeah, that's
draw
pretty useful.
card, but I'm not. Yeah.
But the drawing
Knowing what's coming.
drawing the card isn't always that great. I mean,
Well, it's a
great.
1/3 chance of drawing.
It's a
into the house
1/3
that you
chance.
need.
It's a 33 and a third % chance of drawing.
Which is why it's a
another card.
3 placeholder.
All right, 3's fine.
Placeholder. Pip of Ember, every time you play it, move a creature on a flank, move a creature to a flank of its controller's battle line and deal 2 damage to it. If it is not destroyed, repeat the preceding effect.
Twin Bolt emissions.
Yeah, I was like, this card seems familiar, and I can't
Yeah,
place
except
it.
Twin Bolt could actually kill 2 2-power creatures. This can't.
Yeah, I guess it's
Or it can kill 1 4-power creature.
yeah.
It's a 2.
It's like a punch, right? Kind of.
Pretty nice. Have it
a
disenhanced
punch,
and
like
play it alongside
kind
Infinity
of a
Scroll.
value 3. Yeah, it's like the same value as the 3. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 4. So sure, what's a punch? Because
Punch
moving
is
to a flank is 90% pointless.
Right.
Well,
Punch
a
is
little
a
more.
3.
Ha!
That's an
don't
old Buddha score. Yeah, is punch really a 3? I don't know.
This is a 2
I mean,
or a 3. I don't
I
care.
can kill 1. No.
So you're just talking about, like, this is the card that you have. That means that my RM Fuller doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it is.
it can be a 3. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm on the fence there. I typed 3 when I was
had a
doing
2.
this
I had a
before.
2 in there, so
I could go either way.
down it goes. 2.
All right, I'm fine with 2.
We hate you, placeholder.
No, I mean we grade lower.
It's not the one I want to see. I'd rather.
You Scarecrow.
There's just better cards out there.
Yeah.
Quantum Mouse. The mouse of the house. He's a 1-power Quantum Mouse. Or
There's
one.
only one mouse in this house.
Yeah, he enhances with a 2 draw and a discard. When you would resolve a draw bonus icon, you may choose to resolve it as a discard bonus icon instead.
No thanks.
Well,
This
it's a cool
card, like this
power,
card,
but it's
this card is the defining between good players and bad players.
All right,
Well,
so we're all going to give our ratings, and then Sheep's going to tell us who's a good player and who's a bad player. All right.
You are getting rated right now.
Drazcore.
well, it's got 2 draw pips.
Just a
and
number. I
discard
just
pip.
need a number. My God, just a number. Just give me the damn number. I don't need your
4.
reasoning. Okay, Ewok.
4.
I also gave it a 4.
I was also giving it a 4.
Okay.
So now that you've put off,
What'd you put it as, Panic? What do you got?
I was gonna say 2.
2.
Ah.
That's 3 enhancement pips, sir. 3
Draz.
2 draws and a discard.
And freaking discard pips.
yes,
Oh.
Draz, go ahead and explain.
And all it cost me was 1 mouse.
Yeah.
Hey,
Great. Look at him.
if you are interested in your extra wide mouse playmat, it is now orderable through Ghost Galaxy's website.
I am not. All right.
Okay.
This is
Some people might
3
be.
pips. 3 enhancement pips.
And being able to make the 2 draw pips tight pips
Yes.
I mean, he probably
in a
doesn't live
set
for me to
full
do
of
such.
bad
but
cards. Yep. You're right. His 1 powerness.
He probably
one
doesn't live.
powerness-
However, he does give me the ability to draw 2 more cards and discard some trash out of my hand.
It's not gonna win me the game.
It's not, but it's probably going to push you in the correct direction.
I like this over Infomorph. I'll take this over an
Oh, yeah.
Infomorph every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, guaranteed.
And Infomorph is probably a 4.
Let's see.
The best
Scully
part about
Rand is a
Infomorph is
4.
its mutant trait.
Infomorph is a 4.
Yep. Okay.
Yes. All right. So I gave the mouse. Do we all give the mouse a 4? We don't even need to talk about it. We just move forward.
Yep.
I don't know.
I mean,
Panic gave it a 2.
Panic gave it a 2, but that's okay. He's joined us tonight, and we appreciate him.
Might as
Yeah.
well.
You got to
Skippy.
take it. If you're on the cast, you have to take it.
Here.
Skippy the Glorious. He is no longer a time hog. He's now just
Skippy.
glorious. 3-power AI. What was he before? Cyborg?
R.I.P. Skippy.
I wonder what happens when you go from a cyborg
Yeah,
to
actually,
an
what
AI.
was he? That's a good question.
I believe he was a cyborg. 3-power, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he was a 2.
I think it was
either
a
way.
mutant, right? Hold on.
No, Skippy Time Hog was not a
Skippy
mutant.
was a mutant.
Yeah,
Was
he's a
he
mutant.
really?
He's one of the
He's a
few
mutant.
mutants
From Coda.
Yeah.
that was in Coda.
Interesting. Is he a cyborg too?
No,
No,
just a
No,
mutant.
just mutant.
He's
Interesting.
a mutant rat hog.
So
thing.
now he went from
He's
mutant
technically just
to
a mutant.
straight
AI.
AI. Play / after reap, archive the top card of your deck. All right. Scrap, use an opponent's artifact as if it was yours. If you do, draw a card. Hey.
I've yet to actually use his scrap effect because his play
Yeah.
effect is pretty good.
Scrap
I-
effects on many, many cauldrons lately, and it's
Yeah.
glorious.
Yeah, I definitely see where his scrap effect is very good.
I like his scrap. I like his play. I like his reap.
Yep,
Yep.
he's a 4.
Yeah.
The payout is huge.
I mean, I like it better
Scrap,
than.
it doesn't destroy the artifact, sadly, unless it's a
No.
sack.
You still get a draw if you don't get any real use out of another person's artifact.
Well, I like how because the was it remote access?
Yeah.
Yes, occasionally it's good, but most of the time it just feels like a pip, like you're not doing anything useful with it. Here, it's like most of the time it's archive the top card of your deck, and occasionally when it's better than archiving the top card of your deck, it's use your opponent's artifact. So that's a great combo.
I like
You
Skippy.
still get it as a reap ability, so if it sticks, it's
Mhm.
just
Archive more.
Yep.
Efficiency. So it has efficiency and R. What is not to love?
Yep.
4s
like
all
it.
the way around. Did
Uh,
we give this 4s?
You
Did
like
we rate-
it? You'd like to have 4 of them? Like,
No.
you'd be
No.
fine with
I'd
that.
take 4 of them.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely take
therefore
one of
we'll give it a
these.
4.
Absolutely. Worm Tunnel.
I had it.
there's the meme of Kylo Ren firing the lasers.
More Skippy.
So, I don't know. There is not a set been printed that I will not take Skippy Time Hogs. Or Glorious.
All right.
Or
Worm
just
Tunnel.
Rain.
Well, hold on, Wookie.
we're going
we had
back?
actually no. We have Worm Tunnel and then Titan Sentry because we had done the upgrades with the ship earlier.
Yep.
Did we ever give Titan Sentry a score?
Because because he's
I
not.
think we gave them both 5. Well, I said both 5.
We did not do Titan Sentry yet.
Yeah, we did because it came with Imperium Charge.
I said 5 on Titan Sentry. I said 6 on
I
the
don't remember.
charge.
I might have been in the
Oh.
bathroom. I ran away.
Worm Tunnel.
Yes.
I just really don't like this with its own impact on my own archives.
Are you talking Worm Tunnel or
and
Titan Sentry?
Titan Sentry? I had it as a 3. Really don't like this.
You're wrong.
I
Nah,
agree.
bro.
I think it can hurt you more often than
But then
would
you
care
don't
for.
play it.
discard it.
But then what's the point of having it if you're just going to discard a 5-power creature?
Because when somebody's
There's-
playing a better archive deck than you can make an impact. And
Uh-huh.
I don't care what you're playing in this set, they're almost certainly going to be decks that archive better than you because your best archive is Connective and Skippies. So you
This-
have a dirty crap archive.
This is a hard stop to wins decks.
Yep.
It's like rock, paper, scissors at that point.
Well, no, I mean
You're playing KeyForge. We're playing rock, paper, scissors.
I mean, if you're going up against a wins deck, and I don't know, like if you're going up against a wins decks, I think you hold the Titan Sentry.
Oh yeah.
I think you
Sure,
hold it
but
until you
that's-
need it. Best case scenario, you've archived it with your Skippy.
It's true. Even if it was in your discards, then your opponent would probably be very hesitant to play their wins.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I'm going to give you your Titan back right away.
All right, 4B. Worm Tunnel.
All right. Scrolling back up. Worm Tunnel, enhanced with 2 capture pips. Play move 1 Ember from a creature to the common supply. If you do, draw a card.
So I've played most of these I've seen have been enhanced with their own capture pip. Like, is it programmed this way? Because then this card is great.
I wish.
I don't
Yeah,
Amazing.
that's not been my experience.
Without that, this card is blah.
Yeah, I only occasionally, and I've definitely had the time where it's like, oh, well, they captured one of mine. Is losing that Ember worth 2 cards?
Yes,
Yes.
we already discussed market
Yes,
generosity.
losing 1 Ember.
I think
worth
it
2
is,
cards.
but it's like a hesitation, right? Like versus
Potentially.
burning
sure.
one of theirs.
Like if you need it because that's going to get you on check or not.
Well, play
No.
better.
Unless they're capturing or you're capturing, it's usually a dud,
But
There
and you
is
never
so
know
so
if
much capture in
it's going to be
this set.
playable.
Where does it put this
I'm
card?
looking.
Is it a 2 or a 3?
I put 2.
This is a 3.
I think this is a 3. It just seems to always. It's a high probability that it's working out with the capture that I'm seeing in set.
There's so much capture. Like, somebody got a hard on for capture pips in this set. And captured Ember. We all know who that
It's-
is.
So many
Mhm.
cards I would rather have at common here.
Well, I can't disagree with
There's
you.
so
on
many
that,
cards
but-
I would rather not have, and this would fit right in.
Like, what did we hit? We said we basically said we don't really want placeholders.
Nope, we don't want
And-
placeholders.
and Most
We're
of us
on the
felt
fence on
indifferent
Burlix.
about Ponder.
About Ponder.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you get
Burlix
2.
Ponder. And
Oh,
then we were
Burlix,
pretty
yeah.
happy with the rest of the stuff. You know, Connective was Connectome.
What did
So
we
would
give
you, would
Worm
you take
Tunnel?
a worm
And
tunnel as opposed? Would you take a worm tunnel versus a connective transfer
Yes.
I'd take connective transfer.
over the worm
I would
tunnel?
take the Worm Tunnel. You
I
have
would take the
2
Worm Tunnel,
capture
too.
pips in it.
I would take either. Like I think either can lead to very effective decks.
And 2 capture pips. Man, I don't know. This might be a
Both
4.
of them require other stuff to have and be there for it to matter. Neither one is better to me on its own.
Does
They
this
both
lose a
can
whole
combo
point
with
because
stuff
it
and
only
make shit
has
happen.
2 enhancements?
But the Worm
I-
Tunnel, yes, on its own, it has 2 enhancements.
I think calling it a 3 is fine.
I
All right.
want to put
3
it
it
at a
is.
4.
I don't think it's a 4.
I think it's a 3.
3.
It loses a whole point. due to the-
33% chance you get payout from the double draw.
All right.
If
But I have
you, if you had a
100%.
chance to use it.
But let me tell you, I have a 100% chance of capturing 2 of your Ember.
Panic, what'd you have it at?
Oh, that's not true either.
Yeah, that's false.
3.
What do you
3.
mean?
I had
It's going to have 2 capture pips. They're going somewhere. Let me
Sheep,
Yes,
just-
would you have
and
it
they
at-
could be on stupid ass cards that don't capture because it's on your board
But
wipe.
when it comes down to
Or-
the end of the game and I need 1 more I need to take you off a check for 1 Ember.
Or
Dress.
at the end of the game, you need to take their creature off the board to get your Amber back to win, and Connect them wins the game that time. Like that's all just garbage scenario.
All right. So Panic was at a 3. Draz, where you at?
I mean, I had it as a 2. Apparently, you guys
Okay.
have gotten more value than I have out of this.
Sheep, where you at?
I'm a 3.
Wookie?
I'm at a 4.
And I got it at a 3. Okay. Got it,
So-
boys.
So it ends up at a 3.
Looking at the Logos Commons, they're generally good.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I
Like
don't-
we're
Logos does
averaged
not-
over a 3 on Logos Commons.
I am going to get rid of these because I want to see the reprints. Because I want to say, in general, I don't think Logos has a ton of bad cards in set.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Let's see. Harlan Mindlock is fine.
Yeah, but he's a rare, so we don't look at rare. I mean, like, you don't
what
look at
in
rares
the world
too
was
hardly.
backup planning? Is that
Man.
DT?
So Logos actually for average came in at 2 and 7/800ths.
Man,
So it was
Neutron
the-
Sharks in set?
Yeah.
Hell
it-
yeah.
It was, and now
As a time traveler.
Yeah, I saw
it was
that.
behind Geistoid and Dis.
Code Monkeys in set? I love
Hell
me some
yeah.
Code Monkey.
Information exchange, another mid-tier card.
Nothing tells you that this is an
ET,
AOA ripoff than
mid-
Eureka being in set.
So a hologramophone with
Eureka
a
great.
house pip gets a lot better.
Sure, that's another card that with a house
Yep.
gets
Yep.
better. I don't.
Is
think
Archimedes in set?
No Archimedes.
Thank God.
Time
Neutron
travelers.
Shark and Archimedes? Are you
Time
kidding?
Travelers in set. Yeah,
Sharkimedes.
no, Logos is really good.
Sloppy lab works and stuff.
Sloppy's their daughter. EP.
Transportation.
There is the powerhouse in Quantum Finger Trap, guys. Look out.
Is that
Oh
in
yes,
set?
I
Oh, yeah,
had
there
that.
it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this.
That's a 1.
Sadly, this set actually makes that card from a 0 to a 0.1.
I will
It
say,
has a pip on it.
It's
So it's not a 0.
garbage.
Yeah, it is garbage, but
Man,
you can at least play it.
Sloppy Lab Works in set. Oh man.
yeah, candle units there. I actually had a deck that opened up with multiples that was 3 or 4.
What did we put Empyrean
So-
Charge at?
I'll
Did
tell you
we
what
have
I
five?
put.
Did we put-
Imperium charge, we had it at 5. I had it
Man,
at 4.
dude, that might be a 6.
I had 6.
There are
See?
so many cards in Logos that archive. Holy
They're
schnitzel.
dirty, messy archive things.
And that's
Strange Gizmo's
perfect.
back.
That's perfectly
A lot
fine.
of people are excited for Strange Gizmo.
Strange
One
Gizmo's
person.
fine. It's
Yeah,
good.
no, it's not good.
A lot of
over-
people who are named.
Mind over matters in set. Like that can archive.
Yeah,
a lot of
That can
cards.
archive
yeah.
a lot of card. Mind over matter into a Empyrean Charge.
Empyrean charge. Yeah.
Yep. So you got big boards. I got free
Backup
key.
plan.
Everybody happy.
Backup clan. I know you were excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that from? Is that DT?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edi's in set too.
Man, there are so
Eddie?
many
Is it?
cards.
No, he's
There
not.
Yes, it
are-
is.
There are so
No.
What's back in
I
set?
don't think so.
No,
Oh, no, I'm thinking of Tokens of Change.
it's talk. Yeah.
Tokens of Change, you can get Archimedes, Neutron Shark, and Eddie.
There are so many ways to archive cards in this set. It is silly. In this
There are
house, is
already
silly.
17 Imperium charge mind over matter decks. I don't know if that's actually game breaking, but
Depends on the amount of creatures.
Do you want me to move?
Empyrean Charge, though, you got to be careful with it, with the mind
Oof.
over matter, because do I want
There's
to
an
give... that's like a third key, or I'm somehow fine. I don't know if there's a way, and I don't think there's any graveyard recursion in Logos to then go do it again.
there is an Imperium charge mind over matter time traveler and then
Nice.
double kaboom.
And information exchanges in the set.
But then it's also got Brobnar with double mace, double gobber, double Donovan, triple Fury Heart. Oh,
Thanks,
Yeah.
Robnar.
Yeah,
Can you
Logos is gonna
imagine
make for
getting-
some
Yeah.
dumb
The Brobnar
alliance builds.
in SAS World is a 16. Is real bad.
Mind over Matter, Geistoid Enhanced, PKE Siphonator.
Do it.
Yep.
Well, this Imperium charge is enhanced to Brobnar.
Even if PKE was Logos Enhanced and you had Mind over Matter, it'd be unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, boys. We have managed to turn time into a much longer piece.
Yep.
Do a time hog.
And
We have been time hogs again for all of our listeners.
that's
So,
all right. They
final
love it.
thoughts.
Nobody actually listens to this show. Just kidding.
Well, especially if you keep
Disguise Alliance
opening
is gonna
alternate
Sydney
packs.
does. She
in the
likes
microphone.
to attack running suffering with listening to us suffering.
Yeah, weird.
She
Whatever.
really likes the pain.
Love the pain.
Maybe she
final
runs
thoughts.
faster because she's trying to make it end.
Yeah.
I can turn these guys off if I just
Yeah.
get there.
I just gotta get to mile 6. I can turn this shit off.
Yeah. But final thoughts. Logos in the set's not bad. Pretty good.
Hell yeah! I want logos. I want dis.
And guys,
And then- Yeah,
I don't know if it's Geistoid.
it might be.
yeah,
Saurian.
no, I
Or not
don't.
Saurian, I'm sorry, Equidon.
It could be Equidon. I'm
But see,
fine with
like, there's-
Geistoid.
Like,
But
it's such.
It's only
it could be
Equidon
Skyborn.
if I have the shard. If I don't have the shard, I don't think I want Equidon.
Well,
like,
but-
there's nothing else that high in Equidon.
Talent Scouts.
You want the reprints. You don't want any of the new cards. You actually just want
Well,
all
yeah,
reprints.
I was just thinking about the new cards. Yeah.
I mean,
Talent
there
Scouts
is
and Hoist Operation.
Sandworm still there with the hoist up. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So you still got sandworms in there. There's still like all
you guys
the
are
reprints
talking
are
about
pretty good.
stuff that's okay, but it's not actually
Corner of the market.
You still get the Vested Herald, which has the Equidon enhancement pip, and you
it's
can scrap it to archive
enough.
your sandworms.
It's not good enough. That's what I'm saying. Like,
It's not as good.
My experience
Yeah.
with this set so far is, I mean, it can make some amber, it can race, it can do those things. It has some neat stuff, but unless you get some really wanky, broken house enhancement thing, this set is just okay.
That might be true.
Well, well, no, this set's poor. Compared to GR, this is a total step. Compared to GR and no set rotation.
Crap level GR versus crap level AS. Like, if I think I would. No, you're right. The one time I opened the GR deck and I just wrecked every AS sealed deck. Yeah.
That's what I did.
Sealed GR probably wins.
Yep. Well, that's. I mean, yeah.
But it's just it's hard. This set is even. I feel like it's going to be even harder to open the good deck, but the good deck in the set is going to be pretty damn good. It's just harder to open it your own because you have to have these enhancement hits ahead.
Well, and then not only I don't know, like we'll see. This is the thing
Top
about Aember Skies.
Aember Skies is going to be much rarer.
If you were to have, if at any time you were going to have some form of rotation, this is the set you want to. Everything else is rotating out. This set rotates in. That would have been perfect. However, we have no rotation in this game, so that means GR is still going to whip that thing. It's just too fast.
GR will It's
too fast. It's too fast. By the time this gets set up to do what it wants to do, GR is going, and I forged my third key for the win. You're like, all right, I got all my steps set up, right? And I'm ready to play. And GR's like, oh, I already won. I'm sorry.
You have playing typical GR, you have 3 turns to put control on and 6 turns to win the game, right? Like that's good GR. Like if you don't have them controlled by turn 3 or you're also winning on turn 6.
No, Dexter, we don't underestimate it. We've just been around the block a little bit. Like, even Fraud's busy winning while Aember Skies is trying to set up.
I have already experienced tokens that is controlling you by the end of turn 2 or the end of turn 3, and you are done. Like, that exists in tokens. I think Tokens is a more competitive set than Aember Skies.
That's because it's mainly isn't it just mainly reprints? It's all not reprints.
But it's not the reprints. It's the absolutely stupid amount of token generation they put in with better tokens.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying.
It is not the reprints. It is not the reprints
that have been redesigned.
I don't know about that.
No, because every house that they put in had to have token cards added to it.
Right.
So it's kind of like this. There's like, I don't know what it is, 10 or 15 new cards per house. Or maybe it's only 9, but they're in common slots and you see a lot of them and they make so many freaking tokens. It's crazy.
Yeah, the Dis over there, which we'll talk about in a future episode, but Dis has got crazy ways to just generate tokens.
And they've got good tokens.
Yeah.
Unless you've got Thrall or Cantina Fiend, I don't think you're going to beat a Legionary Scholar deck.
Well, but that's...
I think that's incorrect.
They made 4 tokens for each of them? I thought it was just 3.
Yeah, it's 3 commons and a rare.
Yeah, just like last time.
Oh, was it? I thought it was just
3. So there are 7 houses, and there's, 60, 50, 80, 64...
Because Thrall and Cantina Fiend are the ones you want.
There are 56 new cards that are not tokens in the set.
Okay. We'll go over those on another time, but with that being said, I think that ends it for us this week. Buy your KFC tickets. Meet us there. Plenty to do with KFC. Plenty to do outside of KFC. And we'll see y'all next week.
Happy forging, everyone.
May the forge be with you. Glad you enjoyed our 20-minute conversation today.
Ahoy.
And somebody thought we were going to do 2 sets. 2 houses.